Hello, hello, hello. So we're going to do a quick rundown of this load order. This is the Skyrim load order that I'm playing through right now. I had to make, some minor adjustments. I think I've mentioned that before on a previous video. Nothing major, but I had to remove tons of trees because it wasn't cooperating with the landscape fixes for grass mods. The two of them together were creating a weird seam in Whiterun Hold. So I had to get rid of that. Maybe the modder can find that issue. So other than that, I added in a new mod down at the bottom. And that's the only thing in this load order that really hasn't been tested out, okay? So I'm going to warn you about that to begin with. And it is, let's see when we get there. It's the one that's supposed to help stop flickering from different meshes. Now, I also put animated armory down here low because I felt like these animations were being disrupted by dual sun and probably by dual sun. So I moved it down here below so that the animations for these weapons would win out over any other animations in these mods. So I moved that down here. I think that's going to work better because I was getting some weird results before. Then I'm testing this out. Flickering meshes fix SVM. I'm just testing this out. So this mod especially used with caution. Everything else in this load order I've tested and I know that it will not crash your game. Now, am I saying that everything's picture perfect? No, I've not seen every pixel in the game. You could find some error that I've not seen, but I've not had any crashes or any problems with the game in that sense. Okay. Now, this flickering meshes, though, may upset the apple cart. That's why I want to make sure I mention it. But I am going to try it out and test it in this load order and see what we think. So, after that, we just got our usual things down through here about disarm and all that. And I'm trying this load INI or any for Xbox. We'll see. I don't know if that's going to make a huge difference, but I thought we would try it. It's supposed to help eliminate a lot of pop-in. I don't know. Let's just give it a whirl. So there's some things here that are different than things I've had in the past. Now remember, this load order is really focused more on making the world, I'm going to say making the world a pretty place, really transforming things to look really nice. That was my focus and my idea. That's why there's not as much NPC stuff and things like that. So I'm using some different mods and hopefully newer mods that help do that help really transform the game. Now, one thing about this, because I'm using Skyland All-in-One, Skyland All-in-One is not really a newer mod. However, the updates and everything that's been added to it, there is a lot of new stuff. They're covering all the Dawnguard and Dragonborn. That's some new stuff. And somehow they've managed to compress it all down into one, whereas before they were turning it into like two. They were doing like a landscape version and an architecture version. So now this changes a lot of things in your game. It affects, let's see, what all does it affect? It affects your snow, your roads. I mean, really, there's a lot of things you probably don't need if you're using this. You'll notice most of the things I have other than like I start off with like the SVM, and then I did this enhanced textures detail and the Forgotten Retext project, just trying to get as many little things upgraded as possible. Did the high poly. This is just to replace those bad urns in the dungeons. And then Skyland does all the big major stuff, and then some little things I have in Rallies, all the things, and El Sopa's HD compilation. I think all of this comes together to make a very nice looking world. I'm also using this Fantasy Flora Takeover. Oh, I just turned it off. Okay, I turned it back on. Anyway, because it's very good, and it seems to cover everything. It says it covers the entirety of Skyrim and Solstheim, with the exception of grass and trees. From what I've seen, it does cover everything, and it looks good. If I didn't like it, I probably wouldn't use it very long, and if I find any issues with it, it will probably be gone. But I like it. It looks good. I am using the Fluffworks and some of these other things, but this was where most of my time and attention went, even replacing the chickens. I mean, I am really showing some dedication here. I replaced the chickens. Anyway, just being silly, but it's been good. I even replaced these urns with these mods. These are not my mods, so sometimes when I talk about this, these are not my mods. I'm not trying to claim these are my mods. I'm just saying that I'm using these mods, okay? So if anyone's new and you're misunderstanding, I do not do any modding as far as mod creation or anything. I simply use these mods that other people are nice enough to make and share with us. So doing the happy little forest thing, and Marie's grass, and Azurite weathers, and I like the little cult moon, but I threw in Draco's beautiful clouds and auras and Cosmos, but then so this is overriding a little bit of Skyland, because Skyland has its own nighttime sky. But I'd already decided to do this, so I just stuck with it. It's one redundancy. I probably have some other redundancies throughout this bunch of textures and stuff. There's probably a few other overlapping things. But overall, I like the way it's looking. Let's see. And I wanted to include Minty's lightning storms because I kind of like that. And here again, Draco's improved atmosphere. This really seems to produce some very nice, like, dawns and sunsets. So, something to think about. It's not very big, and it looks really cool. Obsidian mountain fogs. I like my huge moons. I did include the improved shadows and volumetric lighting, and I like that. I'm gonna continue to see how this looks. Strange runes is cool. That's a cool mod. This is my new alternate start mod. It's very simple, works very well, and it really does more of what I want, as in it will just randomly put me in so many different places throughout the world, and even in Solstheim. And I don't mind that kind of random start. That's kind of the random start I want. So, anyway. Alright, so this is our load order for December of 2022. I'm going to stop here and end it. Not only did I show you the load order, but then I just started running my mouth and we just rambled on for a few minutes. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. So I want to acknowledge these people who donate to the channel, who support the channel. They put their money where their mouth is, and I really do appreciate that. So thank you to these folks, and thank you to everyone for watching and supporting the channel.
This has been an OwwThatSmarts production.